Hey guys, JCJ here, coach of the North Melbourne Kangaskhans for our TBA Season 3 Week 3 battle against Critic. Last week didn't go as well as planned, but hopefully we can bounce back and get our first win this week. We're facing off against Critic. I've battled him before. I've battled him twice, both in Season 1. I lost to him in the regular season, and then I beat him in the first round of playoffs. So we're 1-for-1 at the moment overall, but hopefully we can beat him twice in a row. He's got a pretty scary team. He's got a Tapu Bulu, which got a massive DLC buff. He got Play Rough, Close Combat, High Horsepower, Darkest Lariat, and a few other moves, but those are the notable ones. So Play Rough gives it a physical fairy type move. Close Combat gives it better and more reliable fighting spam. High horsepower which means high horsepower means it can hit fire types and steel types, and it won't get nerfed by terrain. And Darkest Lariat for dark type coverage, as well, in case he ever needs it. It's pretty bulky as well. Cinderace he's also got. I'm pretty sure it's just a Blaze Cinderace. It isn't Libero, but it's still really powerful. Its Pyro Balls hurt like hell. It gets great U-turn for momentum, and it gets court change for so it swaps the hazards on teams. So if I spike stack him and then he court changes, I get the spike stack and I can't do anything about it. He's got an Orbeetle, which is a really bulky bug and psychic Pokemon. It gets sticky webs. It's surprisingly fast, and it's really powerful if it sets up, which it can do. He's got an Empoleon, which is a great defogger and a defog, sort of an anti-defog mon, with Defiant. Very bulky water and steel type. It doesn't get recovery though. Something you'll notice, he doesn't have a Wish Passer, and his only real defensive mon with recovery. He's got Orbeetle, Sableye, Zapdos. I mean, they can run recovery, but we can chip down his team fairly easily, I like to think. He's got a Toxicroak, which is a really strong, surprisingly fast poison fighting type from Gen 4. It's not that bulky. It gets bodied by psychic types, but it hits like a truck and gets Sucker Punch priority and a series of other coverage moves. He's got Rodent Frost, Electric Ice with Levitate. Bulky and hits hard. It's pretty fast as well. If it comes, it's probably Scarfed. It could be Trick Scarf as well. That could be interesting. But Electric spam and Ice spam are some of the best spams in the game. T-Bolt, Blizzard, really good offensive typing. He's got a Mega Sableye, which is an absolute dick, with Magic Bounce as well. So same ability as Mega Diancie. It's really bulky as well, really slow, but we can't toxic it or anything. We have to just chip it down, run it out of recovers, I guess, or just hit it hard. He's got a Zapdos, which is a really bulky electric flying type with the static ability as well, so it can paralyze things if we hit it with a physical move. It's got a really good special attack stat and really good bulk all around with 90 HP, 85 defense, and 90 special defense. It's also really fast, so this thing can be offensive, it can be defensive, it can be whatever. He's got a Dragapult, which is an exceptionally fast and very powerful dragon type. 120 attack, 100 special attack. It can run both sets, could be Dragon Dance, could be Specs, could be Scarf. He might be running some weird sets. It's got Infiltrator as well, so it can break through Substitute. He's got Smeargle, which is also a web setter, could also be a spike setter. This thing could come, but if it comes, it's typically Sash Spore. And last but not least, he's got a Torterra for a mascot pick, which is surprisingly bulky but gets bodied by ice types and a series of other types. But that's his team. As you can see, we have quite the advantage here with the averages. Not that ever really means anything. Looking at his weaknesses, he's got quite a big weakness to fire, flying. He's got decent weakness to ground, and he doesn't like to take rock moves either. He's got a lot of fighting resist, so I don't really count that as a big weakness, but flying, fire, you can see where this is going. So let's kick things off with our first Pokemon for this week. We've got Choice Banded Staraptor. We're bringing back Mohawk, Brave Bird, Close Combat, Double Edge U-Turn. Brave Bird 2-hit KOs pretty much everything on his team. Brave Bird beats Tapu Bully, Cinderace, Orbeetle, Toxicroak, Sableye, Dragapult, Smeargle, Torterra, and Close Combat hits the Empoleon, and then we've got Double Edge to hit the Rotom and the Zapdos. U-turn for momentum, but basically Staraptor comes in and he kills something. That's sort of the idea for this battle. Just keep getting kills with Staraptor and keep setting it up so that Staraptor can do big damage. Next up, we got our Season 1 Savior. This guy's switch into Staraptor every single time is going to be Zapdos. So what we have, and Zapdos has static as well, so which can paralyze us if we go for a U-turn. He switches in Zapdos, and he gets a paralyze off on us. What we can do is we can come in with Diancie every time. We can heal Bell it off, or if he doesn't get a static, we can Power Gem, Earth Power, Moon Blast, something that comes in and do big damage. This spread also allows us to take a few hits from, I think we can take a hit from Tapu Bulu, we can take a hit from Cinderace. We can take hits from Zapdos and Dragapult though, which is the main thing. Something I've noticed during mock battles though is that Mega Sableye gets Gyro Ball, which can one-shot Mega Diancie. So Moonblast has a chance to not kill Sableye, so we need to watch out for that in-game. But generally speaking, this thing can handle the Sableye as well if we can get it in Moonblast range. Next we got Hello There Critic the Umbreon. Fairly standard set, Wish, Baton Pass, Toxic Foul Play. This thing comes in on the Dragapult as well every single time. Comes in on Cinderace. Pretty much comes in on anything that isn't a Tapu Bulu. We Toxic something, we can Baton Pass into Staraptor because Zapdos really doesn't want to take a Toxic. But if we can get a Toxic off on the Zapdos, we'll be in great shape. Next up, we got Mazda. Our Scolipede. We're running an offensive set for the first time this season, despite it coming for the past 2 games. Running Life Orb Speed Boost with Swords Dance, Poison Jab, Stomping Tantrum, and Throat Chop. Stomping Tantrum over Earthquake because Earthquake gets nullified, gets nerfed in grassy terrain. Stomping Tantrum doesn't. It does less damage though, but it can still kill the Cinderace, still does big damage to Empoleon, all the things we need it to. But we need Zapdos gone if we want to sweep with Scolipede, and Staraptor can break it with Double Edge, which is what we want. If we can get rid of Zapdos, then we can pretty much win the game because he doesn't have anything else for Staraptor or Scolipede. Next up, we're bringing Davy Jones from the deep. We got Delmize Assault Vest with Rapid Spin, Anchor, Shot, Knockoff, and Power Whip. Really whack move spread, but this thing is my Tapu Bulu switch in. If we can, we're running a ridiculous amount of bulk. If we can get an Anchor Shot off, we can trap it, and we can trap the Bulu, and we can kill it in 2 hits. That would be huge for us because we kind of struggle with Tapu Bulu. It's really powerful. I'd typically bring Heatran for Tapu Bulu, but since it gets high horsepower now, it's not really the best idea. Also, close combat is an issue, but and he will be running high horsepower for the Heatran. But this is our Tapu Bulu switch in. We can also take a hit from Cinderace if we need to. From max health, we can take a Shadow Ball or take some Draco Meteors from the Dragapult too. So that's very useful. So hopefully this thing can go off on Tapu Bulu. We also got Rapid Spin, so we can get rid of any webs. This thing also comes in on. It's also our Smeargle. Our Smeargle answer. If Smeargle comes, then we switch. We probably lead Delmize because he'll probably lead Smeargle. We're not affected by Spore. We can Rapid Spin, we can Anchor Shot, we can knock off something, we can do some big damage early. last but not least, I left the oven on. The heat ran. We're running Choice Scarf again. Not Eruption though. We're running Flamethrower, Dark Pulse, Earth Power, and Stealth Rock. This is enough speed to outspeed Cinderace. Not really a Scarfed Cinderace, but we can still take a hit from it. What this thing is supposed to do is it comes in on this thing comes in late game. It comes in on the Cinderace. We outspeed and two-shot with Earth Power. Also, he doesn't really have the best fire type switch-ins because Empoleon isn't a resist. His only resist is Dragapult, but Dragapult gets shot down by well, Cinderace as well, but Dragapult gets shot down by Dark Pulse. It gets shot down by Dark Pulse, and Cinderace gets shot down by Earth Power. So hopefully that's enough for us to get the job done here. We're bringing some interesting sets, mostly the Heatran. Scarf Heatran's a lot of fun. I highly recommend using it. The Dhelmise is making its debut. We're bringing back Umbreon and Diancie for the Critic rematch because they carried us last time. I had both Umbreon and Mega Diancie in Season 1, and they both came against Critic, and I think they both came against Critic, and they both did really well. So hopefully they can put in the work again. Critic made the mistake of dropping Como-O. Because he did that and he got Dragapult instead, Umbreon now walls almost everything on his team that isn't a Tapu Bulu or a Cinderace that's using High Jump Kick. So hopefully we'll be in good shape. But if we can just get that Zapdos gone, then we're going to be fine. We almost win. I don't want to jinx anything just because of what happened last week. But hopefully this is enough to get the job done. Hopefully we can get our first win. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you in the battle.